everyone. This is a short intro because this has been giving me some trouble, and so this is going to be a Sons of Anarchy TV series deep dive video series. I will go through all the episodes and we'll talk about all the characters and everything that happens in it. We'll go through the lore and I'll give you some of my personal opinions and we'll go from there. So my name is Ronnie. I deleted about 10 hours worth of work this morning. So because this is not only going to be a deep dive, it's going to be a costume series. I'm going to dress up in different costumes that represent the biker life. The first episode does take quite a lot of exposition and time to explain it all away. So bear with me. I'll be back. I'm going to put on my best crow eater outfit, and if you don't know what a crow eater is, you will learn eventually. Maybe I'll even tell you when I'm done getting dressed up. But thank you for watching, and welcome to the Sons of Anarchy Deep Dive. For some reason, I thought I was going to have to do more, but they're kind of just like hot girls that hang around the club and sleep with the guys in the club. So I didn't feel like doing my makeup because fuck all that. But I do have a much funnier costume. You'll have to keep watching up until episode 3. Not only have I had to re-record this 3 times, I had to clear a bunch of storage on my shit just to be able to record because all I'm using is my tablet. So you're welcome. Fair warning, this is a dark TV show. It covers lots of fucked up things in it. Anything from drug abuse to sexual assault, abuse of minors, murder, violence, blood, gore, cussing. Every episode will start with a trigger warning, but this is just the general trigger warning for the entire series. So if that sounds like something you don't really want to listen to or like hear about, feel free to click off because it's gonna be a lot. And the reason I made this little board and like the reason I'm gonna wear costumes is so I can kind of take this dark thing and make fun of it in a way. I do actually really love this series. I love this series so much. Not to say I'm not gonna make fun of it, and I'm also gonna give it praise. So without further ado, let's get started on episode 1. So sorry about the sudden change of camera shot. I'm just trying out something a little better. Sorry, my cat was in the background. Don't mind her, she will be a co-anchor on this adventure. Episode 1. I will always take notes. I rewatch every single episode. I've seen every single episode already, but I rewatch every single episode, and then I take notes. The Sons of Anarchy is a TV show that came out in 2008 that has 7 episodes, and it was on FX. It is the story of a motorcycle club called the Sons of Anarchy. They're from Charming, California. They are outlaw bikers who run guns, kill people, and live and die by the patch. The very first season and the very first episode starts off like showing a biker gang called the Mayans, who is like a rival gang, and they're breaking into a warehouse to steal guns, and they blow it up. There just so happens to be 2 dead bodies in there. Well, they're dead now because it blew up, but they're like charred bodies in the cellar or whatever, and they could tie the whole warehouse back to the Sons, apparently. So then you meet Jax. He's a young man. He's the son of the old president of the club, which his dad, JT, crossed out for a reason because he's dead. He's been dead for a very long time. And he's best friends with this guy named Clay Morrow. Jax is the son of the old president, essentially, and he's like the vice president in that. Then you meet his stepdad, Clay Morrow, who is played by Ron Perlman. So it's he does a really good job acting, but he acts like a fucking asshole the whole show. Easy to hate Clay. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. Then you learn they're bribing cops at Charming so that they can keep out of prison and keep all their doings down low or whatever. They have the most annoying soundtrack I've ever heard in my entire life. And then you meet Chibs, and Chibs is one of my favorite characters. Top 3, but not number 1. He is an Irish guy, but he's like a member of the club, and he was a member of the club in Ireland, and I think he also has ties to the IRA. Half-Sack, who is the prospect of the club, that is the prospective member, so they kind of just make him do a bunch of fucked up shit and like clean and make fun of him and stuff because he's like the young guy, the young new guy or whatever. He's called Half-Sack because he's a war vet that served in Iraq, and he got half his nutsacks blown off. Apparently, a lot of these guys are 1, obsessed with ball sacks, and 2, they're vets. And then you meet Gemma. Gemma is on par with Clay because they're both played by amazing actors and actresses respectfully. Katie Sagal plays Gemma. Oh my god, she fucking ate. That's all I'll say. She fucking ate. She is Jax's mom and like the queen of the bikers essentially because she is like married to the president and like was married to the old president. And you figure out that Jax has a kid with a lady named Wendy. And if you've ever seen The Sopranos, this is Adriana's actress, plays Wendy. And I like her. I think she's awesome. So, and I didn't like her in this because she's also a really good actor where she can play a character that you fucking hate. I mean, she's one of those characters that obviously all of these characters have their ups and downs and their arcs, including Wendy. So she's obviously on the list because she's the mother of Jax's child, Wendy Teller. She is a drug addict. She is married to Jax, but they're not together. And she's pregnant as fuck. She's like fighting the urge to use while she's pregnant. So Clay and the gang, they're kind of like the guys in The Sopranos because they're racist, they're sexist, they're not really good guys. You know, I'll say the character's my favorite, probably because they do the least fucked up shit in my eyes. All of these characters are fucked up people at the heart, I think. Except for Opie, I'll fucking live and die by that, and you will see why. When Jax goes to look at the old baby stuff that his mom kept for him, he finds a box of his dad's old stuff. His dad being JT, the dead one. He has pictures, and underneath all the pictures, there's like a whole biker manuscript, a book his dad wrote, but it's all just a bunch of pages. And no like cover or anything, you know, just kind of like held together with like a clip. The title of this book is called The Life and Death of SAMCRO, How the Sons of Anarchy Lost Their Way by John Thomas Teller. So this is a big reveal. Now that they've lost their way, they're pretty much done for. And his brother, that being Jax, had a brother when he was a kid, but his brother died as a baby. And his brother's name is Thomas Teller. Thomas Teller is on the list, but it's covered by the couch. He's down there. So he died from a congenital heart disease as a baby. The book is dedicated to Jax Thomas. And it's pretty clear that from this dedication, he never wanted his sons to have anything to do with this club. But he died. So, and you see Jax start reading the book, but he kind of hides it away when he's not reading it, which is like suspicious a little bit. And my favorite part of the clubhouse, personally. So they work at a place called TM Motors, Teller Morrow Motors. And it's Clay and Jax's dad opened it together. And they're a part of the first 9 guys that invented the Sons of Anarchy Club. And so TM is kind of like the front for all these biker guys because they all work there and like work as mechanics there. And they genuinely do work there. But they also use it as a way to like funnel their money and shit because they make a shitload of money off of all the illegal things that they do. So inside TM in like the garage area, they have like a clubhouse where they all hang out. And so it's like a bar and then like a back meeting room and then like a hallway with like a couple of bedrooms and then like a ladder up and you can get on the roof. Very specific, I know, but this will all make sense later. They have a wall of mugshots in the bar, like a whole wall of all their mugshots because they got raided 5 years ago or something. And that's all their mugshots from that, which is really funny, I think. And I think it's a very nice touch because I just imagine all the actors going in and putting on the jail clothes and taking mugshots that day. You see Gemma, Jax's mom. She goes to check on Wendy, which is Jax's baby mama. She overdosed with the baby inside of her. So Gemma takes her to the hospital. You see them talking about how they need their guns back from the Mayans and how they want to retaliate and give them the same exact treatment that the Sons got. But they were going to need somebody to work the explosives. Their person that normally would do it, Bobby, who we'll talk about later, can't. So they talk to Jax and they're like, hey, what about Opie? He's great with explosives. But Opie is my number 1 favorite character. He is the same age as Jax, and he's kind of less like almost the same life as Jax, except his dad wasn't the president and his mom didn't get with his dad's best friend. So Opie is the son of a member named Piney. We'll talk about Piney later as well. He's Jax's best friend since childhood. They're essentially brothers. He just got out of jail for doing 5 years in prison. So that all being said, he tells Clay that Opie probably won't do it because he's not earning like that anymore or whatever. And Clay's like, he'll do whatever I tell him to do. And because he's kind of an asshole. Then you see Jax goes to the hospital. His ex, Tara, is working at the hospital, but he doesn't seem shocked to see her or anything. Like, at all. But she moved away and then moved back. So it seemed like they dated a long time. She's working there and she's working on the case of Wendy and the baby. And then you learn that the baby's name is Abel. And Abel's on the list as well, of course, because he's the son of the main character. But you learn they had to perform an emergency C-section on the baby, and the baby's really sick. He has the congenital heart disease, which Gemma calls the family flaw. And Jax had it when he was a kid. He survived, but his brother had the same one and didn't. And Gemma also has it, and she has like a huge scar on her chest. He has a congenital heart disease and a tear in his abdomen with a 20% survival chance. So, not looking good for him. Jax has this badass moment where he's like, I gotta go deal with something. And then Clay's like, follow him. So he sends Bobby and Chibs in with him. And Bobby and Chibs are both older guys. Jax is kind of young. Jax is probably like 26, maybe closer to 30. But in my perfect mind, I guess, I'd have to look it up, but I'm not gonna. He goes to a white supremacist bar because you learn that the whole heroin trade is ran by the white supremacist gang. And so he goes to the bar and he beats up like the first guy that he sees, and he like breaks a fucking pool cue over his head and like punctures his ball sack. Once again mentioning ball sacks. Whatever. He immediately goes to find Opie afterwards. But Opie is arguing with his wife in the garage because she saw him with his bag and his cut, which the cut, if you don't know, is the jacket / vest that all of the members wear with the patch on it. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? You said you weren't going to do anything else for them. Like, you were just in prison because of these fucking guys. They fucked up our whole family. So she blames him going to prison on the club, which is totally fair because it's, a tricky situation. After they're done arguing, she's mad as fuck at him. He walks to Jax, and Jax is like, damn, I saw that. You know what? Just give me the bag. I've seen you do this enough times. I'll just do it. You work on your family. I'll tell Clay like your kid hit their head or something. And you take your kid to the hospital so there's a record of where she's at. Because Clay's gonna be a cunt about it. He's like one of those bosses that you just fucking hate. You see him leave, Jax leave with the explosives, and then he talk about how they're going to get their guns back and money, logistics, and pounding around. And they tell Jax that they will do anything they can to help him with his family, which is really nice, but it's not the fact that he's Prince Charming or anything. They call him Prince Charming because he's the Prince of Charming. Then you learn that Clay wants to rebuild the gun factory, but Jax is questioning it, and it turns out he's questioning it because in his dad's book, he's talking about how he never wanted to run guns, how he never wanted to kill people. And Clay is suspicious about that because he doesn't know about the book, but he does know that this is different for Jax. Oh my god, it's getting cold. It's so cold out right now, and I just have to dress like a fucking... I'm gonna put a jacket on. I'm cold. Jax finally goes to see his son and Wendy, and he tells her to get help, but it seems like this is something she does a lot, where she's like a user. She's been in and out of rehab, but now she says it's different because she has like a baby to live for, you know? So she asks him to go flush the drugs that she has at their house because they lived together, but now Jax is staying at the clubhouse. Jax goes to flush the drugs and he finds Gemma at his house. And then that's where you learn about Jax and Thomas's heart disease. You learn how his dad died. He got hit by a semi-truck and drugged for 178 yards. Jax asks if his dad ever said anything to Gemma about the future of the club, what he wanted, if he ever wanted to run guns and things like that. She kind of tells Jax, like, if you give up on your son, nobody's gonna fucking believe in him. Like, you're the most important person that has to have faith, or your kid's pretty much fucking dead. Gemma doesn't really have any answers about his dad, and she's like questioning what he found in the box. After this, Jax flushes the drugs, and you see Gemma and Clay talking about Jax in their giant mansion. She's pretty much saying that he might get all mixed up and confused about reading what JT has written, and he might go soft because of his kid, and she's just really worried about him, and she wants Jax to follow in the right father's footsteps, which is obviously referring to following Clay's footsteps instead of JT's footsteps, because they went totally different paths. And then you meet the head Nazi guy, his name is Darby. He fucking sucks, obviously, but he's played by Skinner from The X-Files. That actor, I love him. All of these people do a really good job of playing terrible people, and that's a sign of a good actor. They're meeting with him because of what Jax did at their little pool house. Essentially, he's like, let's just call it even. And they like give him a gun or something. Then you see that Gemma and Tara have beef, and she actually still has a tattoo that she got when she was with Jax, like a biker tattoo on her back, on her as like a tramp stamp. And you see her say like, I keep it there to remind me that shit's behind me. And it's really cheesy. There's this horrible cheesy shot of a bunch of teenage girls looking at Jax Teller. He's like, yeah. And it's just like, why is that necessary? Jax is constantly having contradicting ideas and contradicting actions. Especially now that he's read his dad's little biker book. He's definitely feeling some type of pull that people can sense. And you see them roll up to the Mayans' warehouse to get the guns. After it's all said and done, they have to like beat up 2 guys and they're gonna blow up this warehouse. And Jax kind of is like, should I really do this? Like, do we need to kill these guys? Do we need to blow this up? That's totally fair. And then you see them blow it up and everything, kill the guys, and Jax is pretty unhappy, but all the other guys are like, yeah, woo! You see Gemma at the hospital visiting Wendy. This is where you get your first glimpse of how crazy Gemma can really be. She tells her she wants to pray and grabs her hands and says, "Dear God, thank you for saving this boy from this murderous junkie mom who cared more about a $40 rush than she did her own flesh and blood." Exactly what she says to her, and it's really savage. Jax kind of comes on to Tara because she gives him some good news about his kid, and you can tell that Tara still has like a soft spot for Jax, definitely. But this is right after they kill those guys and blow up the warehouse, so Jax has like some blood on him, and they're kind of like embracing, and then he gets blood on her, and she's like, Jesus Christ, clean yourself up, Jax. And it's really sad. And then he goes and he showers, and apparently there's like a shower in the baby's hospital room. So he looks at his baby, and he's wearing like scrubs, and you see his mom come. She kind of grabs onto him and is like a little wholesome moment. You see Clay come in the background, and he's just like, and yeah, that's how it ends. That's kind of like a fast read through because I was not looking forward to having to re-record this, and I hope it doesn't change too much because I'm reading off the exact same notes and have the exact same opinions as I did. And now I have the fucking list of characters behind me. And I actually bought an 8-pack of poster board, so definitely gonna get more diagrams as needed. That was episode 1. So thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.